everyone. Welcome to another special weekend. And this one is actually one I'm kind of excited about. Well, of course, I enjoy every weekend, but this one's going to be a bit different. Actually, I'm changing up my special weekends a little bit. Up until now, most of these weekends have been 2 songs from the same artist. There have been a few variants along the way, but that's been my main focus. But going forward, I want to mix in different kinds of topics. Some weekends will still be a straight artist deep dive, but others will be built around a theme, a different kind of theme. For example, instrument spotlight or cultural landmark, maybe arrangement masterclass, rhythmic innovation, different ways of listening to music and exploring it and learning and comparing it. Still 2 songs on one weekend, same as always, but just organized.
Say again,
okay.
I can cut it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Still 2 songs, one weekend, same as always, just organized around a variety of different ideas instead of always being about one band for the weekend. So this weekend, I'm diving in with Instrument Spotlight. Instead of picking a song for how it sounds as a whole, I am going to be listening to 2 performances built entirely around what one instrument can do. Big surprise, being rock music. This time it's electric guitar. Today I have in front of me Eddie Van Halen's Eruption, which Vlad just told me is a 1.5 minutes where he essentially invents a new vocabulary for the instrument, the 2-handed tapping technique that basically every rock guitarist since has had to reckon with. I don't know what's in it for tomorrow, but all I know is that it's going to be the same instrument, same basic goal, but 2 completely different approaches to getting there. The idea is to put them side by side so we can really hear the difference in technique, not just the difference in genre. Now, this is not my first time hearing Van Halen. In fact, I remember the first time I heard, and I guess I pronounced it Van Halen, and so many of you took me to task for that. Some of you actually liked it. Anyway, that's why today I know how to say Van Halen. Eruption is a guitar solo performed by Eddie Van Halen and the second track from Van Halen's self-titled 1978 debut album. It is widely regarded to be one of the greatest guitar solos of all time, having popularized tapping. Okay, this tapping. Well, of course, I'm not claiming to be an expert on it, but I understand that tapping refers to tap-ons and pull-offs or that sort of thing and I understand that means that to play a note, you're not plucking it, but you simply kind of slam your finger down hard, and that makes it vibrate by the placement of it. And I guess 2-handed tapping would be maybe both hands tapping, doing similar things. Sounds rather complicated. It's not something that works on the harp. If I tap on the harp, it's just going to be percussive on the soundboard. But anyway, so a real idiomatic, specific to the guitar or other stringed instrument with a neck, I suppose. I've seen it on violin, yeah, and on cello and bass. So not 2 hands though. That sounds pretty elaborate. Let's see how it sounds. Well, that's quite an entry. Okay. I think Eruption is the perfect title for this piece. It literally erupts at the opening. It goes crazy. And it's not just the kind of crazy where I feel like, okay, I'm going to sit back and watch this spectacle in front of me. No, it's the kind of crazy that pulls you into it. Like you sit there breathless. Oh my goodness. It has this sort of massive volcano spewing out of the earth and all the chaos and drama and excitement and terror of it all. I want to hear that much again. So I love the way this... I love this. The way it starts moving up, but then as it builds momentum, instead of just shooting up to the top, instead it builds momentum and pulls us down, and we feel this downward slide, and then takes us for another ride. Makes us away. And up we go. You know, another thing that I like about it, actually, is sometimes, well, we all have our particular sonic preferences, right? The kinds of sounds that appeal to us. And there are always certain sounds that kind of put us on edge and make us pull away a bit. Those sounds aren't worse or bad. And in fact, they're incredibly effective and helpful in creating musical drama. And each person is different. I know some people who just can't stand the choral sound. It's just... I had a student parent who said choir was the worst sound ever for her. She couldn't stand it. Okay, fair enough. I know some people who absolutely adore virtuoso violin music, classical style. I don't love it personally. It's so shrieky and squealy and high-pitched, and for me, I need a little bit more warmth in the sound or depth to it. Others really don't enjoy the lower ranges of the instrumental spectrum. It's too growly to them. So all of this is to say, it's a very personal thing. And what I'm going to say now is very much a personal reaction. It's not a judgment for better or worse, but it's my personal reaction. I like the way when he goes up into these high ranges, which are really the violinist's high ranges, right? Way up there is a kind of flute-like clarity and warmth. It doesn't get too harsh or raspy sounding. And to me, it allows me to enjoy what's going on up there in a more comfortable way. As a musician, I can enjoy those really harsher, high-pitched sounds too, because I can figure out how to relate to them and how to understand them in the context and all of that. But just on my own personal taste level, I really like the fact that when he goes up into this high range, it's really not harsh and raspy and sharp. It's a smooth high pitch. And even though it's high and it's intense, I like it. You see, there seems to be a sort of depth to the sound even up there. It's kind of fun. And again, you take her down. It's the entire... Oh, what a great drama moment. I really shouldn't be talking there because it's such a well-paced moment. Let's hear that again. This is wild. Okay, I know, I shouldn't pause it, but I need to. We'll back up again. All right, a couple of other impressions that I get as I'm thinking of this in the context of the instrument and the technique and the guitar and all of that. While I said that Eruption is a great title for this, there is a lot about it that reminds me of a type of composition in the classical realm, which we call toccata. Toccata comes from an old word which simply means to touch. And it's really a virtuosic display of your ability to use your fingers all over your instrument. And there are things about the way this piece is organized and structured that feels very much like a sort of fantasia toccata type thing where we hear all that display of finger virtuosity, but it has such a good structural design. It has such a wonderful sense of shape, contour, journey. Drama. Of course there's drama, but it's not just drama for drama's sake. And so I'm saying all of this because I want to say this is a fabulously virtuosic piece, at least to my ears, with my level of understanding, which, of course, when it comes to guitar is not that deep, but still, to my ears, it sounds pretty impressive. And I guess with what I read at the beginning, I think that's a fair enough, accurate enough judgment to stand. And even though it's so incredibly virtuosic, it doesn't sound like it's just all there for flash and show. It feels like it's a real substantive piece of music. And I appreciate that because I've never been one to gravitate towards flashy playing just for the sake of showing off. It really does nothing to me. It's like, okay, so yeah, you can move your fingers fast. I understand. Now let's move on. This is far more than that musically. And in fact, that brings me to the other thing that I was just thinking. One of the things that makes this piece so rewarding to listen to, beyond the virtuosic element, is the way in which he saturates every second with such a density, such an intensity. What do I mean by that? Well, when he takes us way down to the bottom, careening down there, and we think we've arrived, and he says, wait, just a little bit more, and a little bit more. Every moment, he gives us a little bit more than we would have expected if it were simply a matter of checking the boxes and say, I got that, now I've got a great piece. No, the musicianship behind this is fabulous and compelling and rich. And that's why I choose the word saturation, saturation of musicality. It takes the mechanics of the notes and the playing of it and all of that, and turns it into something really musically, artistically compelling, impactful, a real experience beyond just the fireworks. And that to me is, from a musician's perspective, that is the most important thing, because you never want it to be about just coloring dot to dot, even if you can do it really fast. Nobody cares. At least not many care. So this is one of those performances where as I'm listening, I am noticing all of that, and I am thoroughly enjoying all of that, even as I become attuned to this tapping technique. Let's back up a little bit so we can get into there again. I mean, this could be like a toccata on an organ, like Bach or something like that. And the melodic elements, the harmonic elements. Ooh. And I love the way he takes that home. Now, there's one more thing that I've realized as I'm listening to this about the technique itself, the tapping. Somehow, when I hear that description, tap-ons, pull-offs, tapping, somehow in my mind, in my imagination, I imagine more of a staccato type sound. And it's kind of making me reset my expectations and my understanding of what it means on the guitar. And I understand why too. So, as I mentioned at the beginning, my classical exposure to something similar to this would be the sort of same thing happening on violin. And I have seen violinists do it where they're placing their fingers strongly, and that causes the string to reverberate. But you have to understand that these instruments are not electrified instruments. They don't get their resonance that way. So it's very much like a harp string, where if I pluck it, the sound immediately begins to decay. If I hit it, that's about as close as I can get to tapping, which is really not the same thing. But you still hear the same idea, the sudden decay, the rapid decay. And on a violin, the way the sound is sustained is with the continuous movement of the bow. And you stop the bow and your strings are going to, the sound is going to fade very much like it does on the harp. Same with any of the other bowed string instruments. The electrical guitar is different. The electric guitar is different because of the whole way it works and the way just the whole design is different. You can get these long sustained pitches, which are much more organ-like. And I think that's one of the reasons that listening to this, it made me link more to the organ sound than to the violin sound, because of that smooth, constant pitch that just carries on and on and on and on. And so when you're tapping and doing whatever this tapping is with your fingers up here, getting all these different notes and stuff, you don't have the sudden decay in sound. And so it gives a whole different effect. And it's just one of those things where I realize it's one of the very special things about this instrument. It allows you to use techniques which on other instruments would give a different effect. Here, it opens the doors to more possibilities than other instruments offer in this way. So this has been, for me, highly educational, very enjoyable. I have to thank Vlad for choosing such a rich and satisfying piece for me to listen to do this. And I'm eagerly looking forward to tomorrow's piece of music, which I have no idea what it is, but I will find out then and see what else the focus is for the guitar this weekend. I'll see you then.